and welcome to Ossiana Talks to People. Today we have the beautiful, the wonderful Dana DuBois.
Stop. I mean, don't stop. But with
No, but like Dana is a powerhouse, and she was actually one of the people who kept me writing when I was ready to give up.
oh, what a wonderful thing to say. Thank you.
No, dude, like
Um,
you're a genuine inspiration, and we first met through pink hair and pronouns when we
we
kind of
did.
bonded over trans rights and
Substack. But it mostly existed on Medium, and I'm using the past tense because most writers have left that platform. And I launched it because my child went through a gender journey, one which has kind of come full circle. She's using she, her pronouns again for some time now. Who knows where that will go in the future? But it's so interesting and horrifying because when I founded it, my biggest thought for an audience was more my concerns, which were like, oh my gosh, what do you do when this kid who's shown no signs of, dysphoria before is coming to you? And here in Seattle, where I live, like a lot of parents were going through this because it's kind of a coming of age thing that happens or has happened. I'm not even sure what verb form to use, but all I know now is those concerns seem so naive with what we're dealing with now, with the way that this administration is targeting trans rights and trans people. The fact that I am now like an enemy of the state. I am what was it called? What did he call it? This is executive order. I'm one of the people ICE is allowed to kill for having non traditional gender ideology that's against the state. So that's cool. Yeah. But we met because you wrote some stuff for Pink Hair and Pronouns about your experience growing up non-binary and what it meant to you, more as a guide for other parents than a parent of a gender non-conforming child yourself. It was great working with you over there. And then you came to Substack first. And as I came over here, I was kind of like, oh, Sienna, what happens on Substack?
And I was
What?
just like, I think I'm doing good. And then like for a while I was just kind of like plateauing. And then I realized it's because I don't do lives and people don't really get to know me outside of like my little like microcosm that I've built.
Yes.
So now we're both kind of like just exploring the platforms in our own ways. And I now have a lot more free time on my hands. Thank the Lord. So I'm gonna be doing a lot more of the exploring and I hope that I'll be seeing you on a lot more lives.
Good.
Um,
Lawrence and I are live every morning, every weekday, 5 days a week with the Daily Whatever Show that airs at 7 a.m. my time here on the West Coast, 10 a.m. East Coast time. You have been a guest on our show before. We need to get you back on. That was feels like 1,000 years ago, Oceana, but we only started doing it in April, so it can't be
yeah,
that long ago. But it's been such an
yeah,
adventure learning how this whole platform works.
yeah. And it's so weird to think that that was in April, and that was when you guys saw me duck out of the home for a bit, and I was like in that warehouse looking place.
Yeah, that was a scary day. That was one of the only times I've heard Lawrence be like, "If you are unsafe, you need to
Yeah,
go get yourself to safety." And it was later than April because we didn't start till April 24th. That's our anniversary
it,
date.
it, it might have been like
June,
it was
maybe?
sometime July, maybe.
I don't
Anyway,
know. I'd have to go back and look, but yes, something like that. And I hope those
hmm
days are behind you because that was
yes,
kind of
that a lot of it is already behind me. There's a lot more rebuilding going on, and as I said, I have a lot more free time and I have a lot more space to myself, so I can actually like fully recover. I can actually focus on my mental health rather than all the chaos that was ensuing at that point. So
good.
I'm not gonna get into it, but like there was like a lot of drama going on, not just like with my immediate family, but with my friends, and it was crazy. Anywho, Speaking about drama, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the GOP.
Oh god.
I think that their mask kind of fell. And by I mean fell, I mean like they ripped it off and they're like, whoa.
They are not, they're no longer issuing dog whistles, they're just screaming.
Yeah,
And anyone who can now try to both sides this of like, it doesn't matter who I voted for, they both were going to be bad, or to be
no,
like, you're just misunderstanding this. Like,
there's
um,
no misunderstanding it.
there is no misunderstanding what's happening anymore. Um, on so many levels, so many executive orders, so many heinous acts, and really, like, I am thrown by what happened last week to Renee Good and what's continuing to happen in Minneapolis. I have friends who live in Minneapolis and their friends, and they are reporting out like stories and videos of the things they are witnessing. And they're like, neither Minneapolis nor St. Paul is that big of a city. Like the greater
Hmm.
area is like 4 million people, but I think my friend said it was like 800,000 between the two or something. So a few thousand ICE agents are actually making like a huge impact, and like everyone is reporting like, yeah, abandoned cars at gas
Yeah,
stations or just on the side of the road. Like they're yanking people out without any regard for if they are
process,
I- im-
protocol.
immigrants at all. Not that immigrants deserve that kind of treatment either, but it's happening to U.S. citizens. It's sort of happening to everyone. They're just yanking them, and
Yeah.
no one knows where they're going. And I
And
just like in Seattle, how long till it's here? Like,
yeah, and how long until it's on the East Coast too?
yeah.
What's interesting that I noticed about this is that we do see news clippings, especially on like aggregators like Reddit. That's where I get a lot of my research from.
Hmm.
And I started to notice in the comments something weird was starting to happen where people were like, you don't understand the magnitude of how crazy it's gotten. They
Yes.
are already like banging on doors. They're already like disappearing people from schools, from Walmart.
Yes.
Hi Jessica.
Yeah, I
Um
said hi too. What I read, what I have read and heard, yeah, is like schools are starting to move to homeschool like they did during COVID
yeah,
because kids can't come in. They're delivering meals to homes. Shops are shutting down. Um, I know there are people calling for Tim Walz to bring in the National Guard to bring relief to people, but then other people are like, that'll just start martial law. I don't envy him that decision. I have immense respect for the way Minnesotans are fighting back.
yeah,
Um, I don't know if I have that strength, Ossiana. Like, I know I've put a target on my back by being a writer, by being a podcaster here, but like my kids and I are in danger. Like, I, as you'll read when we talk about the story today, there's a pretty strong part of me that's like, we need to get the fuck out of the country. And then I'm also like, but day to day, I'm like, everything here's fine. I love my home and I have my pets and, our friends here. Like, I've lived in Seattle now almost 30 years. I am like deeply rooted here. I don't
yeah,
want to leave. Yeah, it still feels not quite real.
yeah. It
And
feels like we're in a movie. That's what it feels like.
yeah, really shitty movie that I don't want to watch.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've noticed that in my own circles, like I knew one person who went disappeared by ICE, very
Just,
casually. She was a waitress in the local restaurant.
oh my
They
God.
actually started to issue out alerts online about ICE targeting like grocery stores before
Yeah.
holidays, stuff like that. And it's so weird because I'm seeing people warn about ICE on dating apps, like trying to lure Hispanic women or
Oh, I've seen
that.
women going after like that are going after men to have them out themselves as ICE agents and then turn them like dox them. Like women who are getting on liberal women who are getting on dating apps, pretending to be conservative to meet men who will admit that they are ICE agents and then doxing them, which thank you. You're all heroes. Whoever's
Yes.
doing that, like,
Um,
hats
like
off.
I'll be honest, I am a very sexually loose person, but even I couldn't do that. I'd just be like, "Hi."
Right. I
Sorry.
don't know that they're meeting them or if they're just digitally meeting them and chatting.
Y
I have a story. I don't know about you, but I always have like I think I have like 180 drafts in Medium, which is still where I write my first drafts. Like I'll start something and be like, this is an idea, with my thumbs as I'm running around. But I do have a story in the works that I will probably publish about like, don't fuck Republicans. Hey,
Yeah.
ladies, it doesn't matter how hot he is, doesn't matter how big his dick is. Do not, sorry, it's supposed to be about parenting and I'm just being very blunt.
Nah, but it,
Don't fuck Trump supporters. Don't fuck anyone who is still identifying as conservative because they do not believe in your humanity.
exactly. And like
Like,
as a parent, like I'm scared for my kid
yeah.
because my kid has an open adoption with two gay dads.
Oh,
It's a
that's
gay
sweet.
interracial Jewish couple. So it's like, okay,
Oh my
my
God.
and my kid took after me. She's a tomboy to the core, and her hair's cut short. So you know it's gonna end up being scary. Like I worry about her every day.
Oh, how
And
old is she?
I she's in her preteen years. I'm just gonna leave
Okay,
it at that.
that's fine. She's a tween.
Yeah, but like the thing is that it's so weird that we have like this is like the first generation since World War II where parents actually have to sit down their kids, regardless of like their heritage and stuff like that, and go, listen, things are going to get ugly. The family might not stay together. People that you care about might disappear. Here's how we're going to have to come up with a plan B.
Jesus, right? I do
Yeah,
have to read V for Violet in the chat is talking about the group of feminists who've been
literati.
catfishing ICE agents and they're called the clitorati. That just elevated my mood. Like
This is beautiful.
that
Yes.
filled my bucket. Yeah, if they don't want to abolish ICE, they're gone. They're the time for neutrality is gone.
It's gone.
Like it left a long time ago. I wrote a like sort of humorous piece about this, I don't know how many months ago now, because I encountered a guy on a dating app who was, I mean, I'm 55, I'm a lot older, Gen X. It is hard to find men worth dating, right? And this guy was like hot, hot, hot. Like just his pictures looked so cool. He was very good looking. Didn't have that much written, but it seemed funny. And he immediately wrote me and was like you're totally like, it was a very like, we're this each other's types. Um, and I'm trying to remember what tipped me off. I think he didn't answer the political, like what political party you are question.
Oh, that's a
And
red
then
flag.
as I looked a little closer into what he'd written, one of his hobbies in the midst of a bunch of commas was shooting, like guns. And I was
I
like,
mean,
right. I was like, okay, but those two things together, I think it was
that's a warning
it was,
sign.
it was right before the inauguration. And I was like, how are you feeling about the upcoming inauguration? Like I left it sort of neutral. How are you feeling about the upcoming inauguration? And he was like, oh, we're going to talk about politics. And I was like, yes. And he was just like, well, I think, it doesn't matter left or right. Who the person is that counts. And I was like, we're not a match. Um,
Yeah,
and I was like, damn it. But, there's, oh my God, I've got a dog and a cat right under my chair. The
yeah.
dog is, oh, I got you.
No,
Meet,
like
meet Kira.
hi doggo.
This is Kira. She's a little mad that I just kidnapped her, but we're gonna hold her right here. You just calm down. Quit eating
Grab
your
a bit.
sister's ear. Yeah. She was
This will
oh,
kill.
my
Like
cat.
little bit with a lot of it. Hi.
Ah, what a cute kitty. I have to lean because my camera is right here so that
Mm-hmm.
I can look at the screen. But I had to look. Did you say Boba Fett?
His name is Blitzo. He's my
Oh,
little bit with
little
a
bit.
lot of it.
Blitzo. So cute. This is Kira. She's kind of a chonk. And she's in bad need of grooming, so she's extra floofy right now. She'll get groomed Martin Luther King Day.
Nice.
Yeah, Blitzo. Oh my gosh, so cute. So yeah, dating, that's an easy thing. Like it you can't just be moderate or apolitical anymore. If you were not
Yeah.
actively opposing what's happening here, not a fit, not compatible. Like I would go so far, and probably people will yell at me for this, but like the Venn diagram of men who vote, especially age appropriate men who support Donald Donald J. Trump and who vote Republican, and the men who are going to be, at a minimum, verbally abusive. And um,
Circle.
it's a circle. It's a fucking circle. Um, and I know I'm going to catch flack for that. I'm like, oh, my uncle is, and he's a great guy.
No, you can't be a great guy if you're okay with people being killed in the streets and having families ripped apart. I'm sorry, you can't be a
You just
great guy.
can't.
You
You
can
can't.
be polite, you can be superficially nice, but
Yes,
you're
you
not a
can.
great guy.
No, especially not someone who you are going to let be intimate with your body.
Exactly. Like I've had a couple months ago I had a hookup with a guy who he was literally 20 years old, and I realized that that's kind of an age gap. And
Wow.
dude, he picked me up, and I was like, okay, I'm rolling with it. And he was a male model, so I was like, okay.
Oh my God, Ossiana, that
So
sounds like fun.
this dude was like 20 years old, and he was half Brazilian, half black, and he voted for Trump. And he'd
What?
only told me after we hooked up because I assumed
Right,
him being in the modeling industry, liberal. No. I was like, okay, sweetie, I'm glad that you have your citizenship, and I'm glad you think that that's going to protect you, but that's not how this works.
right.
And you're really not the right shade of white for that. It's not going to work out well for you, honey. And
No.
he didn't believe me. I'm wondering if he believes me now.
No. He won't believe it till it happens to him or one of his people because of
Yeah.
the empathy gap. Like there's no question he will not.
Yeah.
But moving forward, Oceana, you gotta vet him first. But I understand. I made the same assumption with that guy in the app. I live, I'm in Seattle most, and he like
I have
his
I have a
clothes. So
weak
he's
spot for really, really pretty people. Like
I,
really
I don't-
pretty. I have a weak spot for that. I'm an incredibly shallow date. I am aware of this. Um,
you know what the heart wants what the heart wants. I
I
get
wasn't
it.
thinking with my heart.
I
Um,
know. I'm euphemism. The heart and the rest of it
no,
wants
but
what it
like
wants.
I was I was actually like earlier today I wrote an article about that empathy gap. And one of the things that struck me about parenting is that we have like two major extremes happening in the parenting world. There
Yeah.
are left-leaning parents who right now their number one priority is to one, protest against ICE, two, keep kids safe and with family members, three, have contingency plans and have, like this is what you should know. They're like even when sex ed is being pulled out of the schools, you see them having age appropriate sex education, talks, explaining tolerance, this, that, and the other.
Hmm.
And then on the other side, we're starting to see a lot of adult children being estranged from their parents. And the other day, I watched a video that made my jaw hit the floor
Oh.
because, yes, it's actually called, I forget, the required narrative or something like that. Well, I have it on my article, and it's a left-leaning man talking to his dad who's hardcore MAGA Trump all the way, trying
Okay.
to get him to see his point, and he just records it.
Oh dear.
And the dad kept saying that, ICE is doing what it's supposed to do. All they had to do was comply. Trump has a reason for taking all those people and making them go vanish.
Mhm.
And then the son asked, "Dad, if Trump told the military to blow up Oklahoma City, would you be okay with that?" The dad went, "Yeah, because Trump has to have a good reason." And he said, "Well, what if I was in Oklahoma City when he made that bombing?" He went, "Yes, he has to have a good reason." And he was like, "Dad, this is me. If I go into a mall and Trump were to go in and shoot every single person there, are you okay with that?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, because he must have a good reason." And I just saw this look of heartbreak
Yeah.
in this man's eyes, and I just wanted to hug him because I've never heard, like, ever in my life, parents
Mm,
actually saying, "Yeah, I'm willing to let the president kill you if that's what the president wants to do to their own blood, their own children."
right.
That's terrifying.
It is, and there's nothing to argue with that. I will say, my family of origin is Jewish. I don't I'm not practicing. I'm not a religious person at all. Um, but I did grow up going to Hebrew school. I was bat mitzvah, all that stuff. So I grew up on a steady diet of Holocaust movies and like never agains, right? Um, and I feel like I'm like a sleeper cell. I've never been that politically interested. Like I haven't been like a super news junkie. Like Lawrence, my co-host on the Daily Whatever show, we've known each other since the fourth grade. So I can say he has always been into politics. That's his thing. But I feel like I'm like a sleeper cell because when all of these things started happening with Trump, I'm like, never again, never for like
Yeah, it
the
fires off in your
parallels.
head.
Yes, I'm like, and my whole life, I've always like there was always that question of like, how did nobody do anything? And when I traveled to Germany, I should share the story. I posted it um, to Medium because I went to Germany for the second time the summer of 2024 with my kids to see Taylor Swift in Munich, which was fabulous. But I had been there once before with my best friend who was also raised Jewish in the 90s. And both times I felt very aware of my Jewish heritage and the fact that like Germany was like a scary place. And when I'd see the train tracks, it was haunting because I'd seen them in all these movies, right? And the sound of the ambulances is a very distinctive tone that I remember associating with these films. And I looked, especially in the 90s, I remember looking at the older folks in Germany and being like, where the hell were you? You know, when this was all going on.
No,
Now
no.
I completely get it. I completely get it. That I'm like, well, I'm not out there like banging down the doors on ice because I would, in the ice facilities nearby, because what would I do? And what would it take for me to hide someone? What would it take for me, like with my kids' safety on the line? Like,
It's hard to
I,
get on there.
I get it. Yeah. It's, um, it's wild. And I'm going to have to give Kara another treat because I've spoiled her rotten and I don't want her barking while we're doing this. Because with this
So
microphone, here, listen, tap, tap, tap. I have this fancy mic and it's so loud with the headset and the mic when she barks that we're going to avoid that.
and like you being Jewish, you must be even more scared simply because they recently came out with a list of Jewish people that they're compiling.
Yeah, I just saw it in the news today. Hang on, I just texted it to Lawrence and to my ex-husband. Because so fun fact, my family, my ex-husband and my kids, when I say my family, he is a dual citizen US EU. And so our kids are too. So the three of them could land tomorrow and they are EU citizens. I am not. We have a very good relationship, which is great. Um, but so one of the things, there were two things at the beginning that I was like, if these things happen, we got to get out of here. We have to leave. And one of them is the day I'm told I need to register myself and my kids as Jews in the United States.
Yeah,
Um,
that's when I'm probably gonna leave, even if my mom refuses to leave the country.
yeah, there's that.
Um,
And the other one is the day I get a knock on my door or a banging into my door, although by then it might be too late, of like, or any inquiry of like, um, we read what you wrote or we heard what you said and you're under investigation. And by then it might be too late. But I'm putting a link in the chat here. Let me pull it up here so I can read the headline. This just crossed my path today from The Guardian, so very trusted publication. University of Pennsylvania faculty condemn Trump administration's demand for, quote, list of Jews, published yesterday. So that one's happening. I haven't had to put my name down yet, but and my kids, they're half Jewish. That's Jewish enough for Hitler. That's why I always joked with them. Like, you're Hitler
yeah,
Jews. You might look like wee Bonnie lasses. They look, Irish like
no,
their dad. But and they don't know a goddamn thing about Judaism. It's so funny. Like, I can still say the prayers and stuff. My kids, we didn't raise them religious, so they don't know anything. But my
Baruch Hatam.
oh, look at you go! Yeah, see, they don't know that. But that if we all showed up in Israel tomorrow, not that I want to go to Israel, like we are Jewish in the eyes of Israel, the three of us. So
Yeah,
we've got three people who could leave for Israel, which good grief, no. and 3 who can go to the EU. It's just
Yeah, like I technically qualify for dual citizenship in Romania, so if things happen and I have to pack up and go, if we start getting grilled by people, like I will leave the country, and honestly I've been kind of planning on it anyway.
yeah,
But it's scary because I'm seeing so many people, like there's been a spike in people seeking asylum in Canada. I've heard, I think Denmark or one of the other Norwegian countries is now starting to actually accept asylum applications from Americans because
yeah,
it's starting to look like, there is going to be a genocide. And we all know how these things play out. It's not going to be good for us, and it's not going to be good for Americans. Like, it's insane to think that we're living in these times again because we keep saying never again, and it's always again and again and again. It's just a different part of the world.
and enough time has to go by that the generation who lived it dies. It's that 80-year mark. That's
Yeah.
when it needs to happen again. I'm laughing, Decarceration's comment, "Stop calling us Nazis." Hey, what's the progress on that list of Jewish people we're pulling together?
But that's
Nailed it.
exactly what they're doing.
Nailed it. Yeah. And I'm like, Lawrence likes to joke that he's a box of Lucky Charms because he's like, I'm gay, I'm Jewish, I'm poor. He's like, how many things I'm a political adversary. How many different, because, we had to wear the gold stars and the pink
Like,
hearts or whatever for the queer
yeah,
people had to wear something pink. I don't remember what the symbol
it
was.
was the pink triangle.
The
That's
triangle,
where
thank you.
the
Pink
gay symbol
triangle.
came from.
Yes, the pink triangle and the gold star. What was that gold triangle for being Jewish? Whatever is gold. Uh,
Exactly.
he jokes that he's a box of Lucky Charms, and I'm like, yeah,
I love that dude.
I love that dude too. So, yeah, I just published an essay. It just went live today on Blue Amp Media, a very cool um, publication and podcast here on Substack that Lawrence and I are kind of partnered with. He's working directly for them, and I'm helping them with booking their shows and then helping them launch a culture section, which happened with the story that I'm going to share with all of you here. And it's interesting because I published a different version of it to Medium a few days before because I wrote this, I finished this story on the eve my daughter turned 16. Sorry, 18, when my daughter became an adult, my eldest. And she's in the throes of college applications. She's starting to get all kinds of acceptances. It's super exciting. Some places are giving her like lots of money to go. Not enough because the cost of college in the US is obscene.
It's
Um,
starting to get better to just go abroad. It's cheaper, and who knows, they might end up marrying into a really nice country, if you know what I mean.
they don't need to. They're citizens. My children are EU citizens.
Oh my God, dude, you're lucky.
They don't need to marry into it. So they're Irish citizens. So she got into University College Dublin, but we don't get EU tuition in Ireland because you have to be paying taxes in the EU. In the Netherlands, they teach in English, and she would get it, but it's just sort of a like leap too far. Like she's like, why am I going to like the Netherlands? You guys are, and so they're. It's crazy, like all of the worries you have about launching your child into the world. Normally, other times,
Hmm.
normal times, where, and my child is like a super talented artist, so she's getting into really good design schools here, and but she's not sure if she wants to do that or more general education. And I'm trying to guide her, and I've been nagging her to apply and to get her financial, her stuff into the financial aid, all the things, trying to teach her how to drive. She now can do that, and how student loan debt and credit card debt works, and not to get into it, and how to cook, and all the things you do to prep your child to launch in the world. And now overlapping that, right? It's like, okay, well, you got into this wonderful
Great.
school, you got all this money. It's a several day drive to get there. What if the planes go down? What if I'm not allowed to fly, or she's not allowed to fly? What if she's applied to one school in Canada and a couple schools in Ireland? I'm like, that might be better, but we probably can't all go. And I'm like, what if we're on the opposite sides of a war? Right? Like, so that's what this, oh, thank you, Karen. Karen Marie Sheldon put the link in there. I'll put it into. Um, and it's like, which states can you go to where you'll have bodily autonomy, at least for now? And if you go to a state that doesn't, like, I mean, what percentage of the young women you knew in college needed abortions or were at least or sexually assaulted? Like, the numbers are so high. We live in Washington where abortion rights, as long as they remain with the states, they'll be fine here. But I know from watching Texas that if she brings a friend here in need of a Planned Parenthood, like, I could go to jail from the way they're starting
Yeah.
to do things, right? And I'm like, there's no way I could turn down a young woman or any age woman in need.
No, like it's getting scary. And I remember like I was denied an abortion when I was pregnant. Because like here's the one thing they don't tell you about abortion rights in America.
What's that?
It all boils down to the doctor and how they feel about you.
Mm.
And if you can't get an appointment in time or if they don't like the cut of your jib, guess what? You're done. You don't get anything, even if it's your right to request one. It's the same with birth control. I got denied IUDs and I got denied permanent birth control when I gave birth. I had to go to 12 doctors before somebody would actually, do what they needed to do. And the funny
Yep.
thing is,
You need your husband's permission before you can get your
yeah.
tubes tied.
Oh no, I didn't even get the husband's permission. They told me I needed to have 3 more kids and I told them to go fuck themselves. I actually almost ended up with an assault charge because I punched a doctor.
Oh my God.
No, dude. Like if you're gonna take away my body rights, I'm gonna take my right to fist your face. Like,
Right. Here's your body right.
yeah, I have a tendency of punching things when I get very angry. So unfortunately the doctor, you know, they were talking about, you know, that I don't know much about my body. I was like, well, let me fix your face and tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah, let me see how well
Um,
you know your body.
yeah. No, like
I'm sorry you went through that. That's rough.
so even with all that, even in like a blue state like New Jersey, people don't understand that when it comes to women's autonomy, it's still a fucking red state. It absolutely is. And Newark Beth Israel, I'm calling you out once again. You can have a lot of reason to fucking to explain yourselves. I'm going to keep bringing it up until the day I die.
Mhm.
Um with all of the like regulations, you would think that we have more liberty, but the truth is that this issue with our reproductive rights has been going on since at least the 90s, at least, if not earlier. And there's been this growing struggle to just get what you request for your own body. It's gotten to the point that there's now tourism, medical tourism for permanent sterilization out of the US.
I believe it. That doesn't
Like
surprise me at all. I think there's medical tourism for just about everything. At this point, I know Meta. All I'm getting now are ads for like uh, doctors in Thailand who want to do facelifts and blepharoplasties and like and here's how little it costs. It's all these women like I had this done and it was $15,000 and I stayed in this hotel and it was so great and yeah, everybody is trying to get the fuck out of here to get healthcare because it's so obscenely expensive and it is only getting so much
it's
worse.
it's getting worse and it's getting extortive. And like I know that like I get very woo woo, but at this point, one thing that I've noticed, at least in my family and in a lot of the other families who I hang out with, when we really don't have much reason to have faith in the future, woo woo is the next best freaking thing.
Yeah.
They say religion is an opioid of the masses, but you know what? When you're dealing with tough times, sometimes the only thing that you have is prayer. It's the number one reason why every single gang member I've known who has been a, a hardcore gang member has ended up in a shootout. They are hyper religious. You'll always see like a religious like necklace around them. Like a lot of them have their own altars at home, like hi cat. Um, all of that stuff, that's faith because they literally live in a world where life is cheap. They've lived in a world where life is cheap. This
Mhm.
is most Americans' first foray into living in a place where you realize that most people don't care if you live or die.
Right.
And like it sucks, but when I turn to woo, when I do my tarot for America on House of Bast or on my main account, like I do that because I know that brings hope.
Right.
And I honestly do believe that we can peer into the future. We can get a prediction.
Oh my God.
And
Do you have this? Oh, sorry.
huh?
Do you have your cards nearby?
Actually, yes, I do.
Maybe you should pull a card or two of like, what should my child, how should I guide my child? Because she is so ready to fly. She is so talented. If you go to this article that I posted here, I'll post it again, and you scroll to the bottom, I included one of the drawings that she did for her portfolio at the bottom. And if you're on Medium, it's the hero image on Medium, but Blue Amp has a different orientation and all of that. But she's so crazy talented and um, bright and just like such a leader by nature. What's going to happen to her? Pull some cards for me.
All right. So
I
I'm
need a
going
little
to,
woo too. Is that okay?
of
Can we get a little
course,
woo on all of you
dude,
guys?
this is what we're here for. And like one of the reasons I like talking to people like in the casual way that I do is because one, we do get those like mixed experiences. We are able to advise one another. We're able to support one another. And right now, the number one thing that so many people in the US are missing is that kind of community. We're missing hope because we have this freaking tyrant in chief. But I have like, if you take a look at most astrological stuff, and this is Karen Marie Shelton's strength. I actually,
Yes.
um,
Oh, I know. She's like a guru in the astrological.
so far, everything that she predicted in my life came true.
Karen, I
Like,
need a reading. Note to Karen, aside to Karen.
yes.
I need a reading.
Yes, and by the way, if you guys want me to pull cards, just you can order it as a commission on Buy Me a Coffee. I'm always happy to help other people out. So let's find out what's going to happen with Dana's daughter, what we need to know. All right?
Okay. I'm checking in. We're at the
So
37-minute mark, so I know where to find the reading.
I don't I don't think that I could have gotten a more perfect fit for this.
What is it?
This is Selkut, the goddess of scorpions for magical protection. This is
Ooh,
a sign from the universe that your daughter is being protected. That yes, there are people who are looking to harm her, but she is going to be okay.
okay.
Ev- but it is saying that there are people out there who will try to harm her, so she still needs to be on her guard.
Okay.
Specifically, watch out for loved ones being deceived in some way and know you might need to be the one to take action to prevent this.
I might need to take action.
Yes, that's what it's actually saying here. It's
Okay.
saying it's saying that Selkut is the powerful scorpion goddess who protected Isis on her travels to recover the body of Osiris. She protects the deceased in the sarcophagus. Many Egyptians wore scorpion amulets to prevent themselves from getting bites and stings from live scorpions, which they feared and revered. In trust, they would, feel protected by Selkut. She's a powerful healing goddess and the first divinity to call for if you were bitten by a venomous snake or spider. She's also a protector against spells and psychic attacks. And it's interesting that we have that like psychic attack feeling because if you're trans, if you're gay, if you're Jewish, if you're not a white Christian cis het dude, you do feel the target on your head. It does feel like a psychic attack.
Yes.
And
And I'm
oh,
marveling in the chat, dear. Karen, how do you know that I have Scorpio rising? Have I told you that before? Because you're saying Oceana Data has ascendant is rising, right?
uh yeah, I think so.
How did you know that, Karen? That is, you did my chart. You know my birth time and place. Did Lawrence give you that? Because, or maybe I did and I forgot because Swiss cheese memory. But
So
you told me your time of birth and that I'm a Leo. Okay, so I do have Scorpio rising as my in my chart.
So we got fire and water in the in the chat right now. I'm a Pisces.
I
Um,
I have a
so
thing with Pisces.
here
Yes.
here's an interesting thing that this says specifically about your situation with your daughter.
Okay.
My presence means your safety, but it does not free you from the responsibility of being accord with Goddess Mat, which means if you do anything that could be shady, or if you do anything that could draw unwanted attention,
Mhm.
like in a bad way, this is this is a time to know when to tone it down. You will see signs. That's pretty much what that's saying.
For my dog.
For your daughter and for yourself. Like that's under the family thing. Now
Okay.
travel, it says sudden interruptions are likely when traveling. So if she's about to fly off somewhere or if she's starting to like, pack up and move, her travel might be interrupted. It does not necessarily mean that something horrible is going to be happened. But like the
Okay.
future also says you're being offered spiritual protection by the goddesses of ancient Egypt and accepting will bring you great blessings. So like I see that she's going to most likely be safe.
Good. We're
But
traveling next weekend. I don't know that that's what that's referring to versus like her leaving, but we're going to see a school. We're going to tour a school in California next week. So,
so just be careful, make sure that your car, you know, is
like,
all nice and
we're
whatever.
flying.
Okay. Well, then make sure that the plane is not like on fire or something. Okay, man?
I will keep an eye out. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, flight attendant. The wing seems to be aflame.
Bro, that like we had when I went to Florida with my husband, my soon to be ex-husband.
Yeah.
I think that one was the flight where they had like an argument and they had to like get someone off the plane and I was just like, huh, I didn't expect that to happen in my life. But
Right.
someone saying, "Stop jinxing her." I'm not jinxing her. I'm being like, "Yo, just if you're going to be going on a plane, arrive early,
Yeah.
dress conservatively. That way,
Wear my
because I
t-shirt.
well, yeah, because actually, ICE is now doing the downloads and stuff like that of every traveler.
Yeah.
So the more conservative that you appear, the less likely it is that they're going to end up, fucking with you. And sometimes all you need to do is just blend in until you can get to the destination and charge.
100%. I hold on, there was something here I wanted to address. Oh, Karen saying I'm very powerful. Brr. I
It's
can
true.
be. I can be. Thank you. Linnea, I will not be in your city. Otherwise I would totally
And if
like,
you're on the East Coast, come here and I will most likely bring you to a sketchy nightclub where your daughter might not actually be old enough to attend.
no, she's only 18, barely 18. And she does have an application out to a school in New York. But she's
Oh,
excited. So
I could give you plenty of advice in New York.
excellent. I don't know
My
if we're going to go visit. She hasn't heard back, and we probably can't afford a school in New York because of the cost of
You would
living.
be surprised.
We'll
You
wait and
would be
see if she gets
surprised.
in. At this school in California, they gave her a lot of. They're paying for us to come see the school. Like the trip is free, which I'm like, wow. And thank you for
So
saying safe travels, Linnea.
yeah. So it's interesting that the cards kind of picked that up.
Yeah,
Her work and career also looks very good, but once again, it's one of those things where she's gonna have a lot of envy. That's one thing that I've noticed with circuit and stuff like that.
she's going to have envy. Like she will be envying other people, or other people will be
No, no, no.
envying
Other
her.
people are gonna be envying her. You don't pull that thing if you're envying other people. If you're envying other people, you'd probably get like the fire spirit card because every single time I turn green with envy or I turn red hot with rage, that's the card I pull.
Got
So
it. Yeah,
that's
I think
one.
Ainsley. Oh, I don't usually say her name, but yes, she is someone who people like admire slash probably envy.
Yeah,
That would check. And I don't know how aware she is of that. So we'll see.
but mhm.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but when it comes to like the parenting thing, the one thing that I've noticed that's really helped with raising kids, one, the parents I've seen who literally pull their kid aside and go, "Listen, this is not normal. What you're seeing right now, is not good. And the people who are saying nothing and doing nothing to protect you are not your friends and they never will be. Even if this blows over, they never will be. Like, I've noticed that helps. The other thing that helps is actually trying to keep things kind of lighthearted.
Mhm.
Like, kids are aware that bad things are happening. It's very hard not to be when schools are even, like, stepping up and being like, "Hey, you can't be yanking our kids out of class."
Right.
But, like, giving your kids something that can help them cope, whether it is a prayer, whether it's tarot cards, whether it's just, like, giving them a song to repeat to themselves or teaching them how you cope with hard things, like, I think that makes a huge difference.
I think you're right. My kids definitely, especially my older one, like, they know a lot about what's going on. They're not super news knowledgeable in terms of, like, we don't have the TV going, we don't, but I talk to them about stuff and they know.
Yeah,
They know it from a very, their blue bubble bias, of which I'm very happy about. So it'll be very interesting when they get out into the world and see what happens. It could be less
remember,
interesting right now.
knowledge is power, so, like, if you are raising kids and you have reason to believe that they could be in trouble, teach them how to spot an undercover cop. Teach them on what to look out for when it comes to people who are off-duty ICE agents who are just touring the area. For example, if you see a guy from New York, Oklahoma, and, like, say, Arkansas and South Dakota all in the middle of Missouri or Minnesota right now, because I keep getting the 2 states conflated, like, that is a sign that they're probably ICE. You're not gonna see that, like, weird bunch of people in the middle of a random flyover state for no reason, especially if they're built like potatoes. Like,
Especially if they're built like potatoes. I'm sorry, that's funny. I shouldn't laugh, but that's
I
funny.
mean I've seen many potato-shaped people. I'm from New Jersey. Potatoes are kind of like a body shape that happens when you either hit the gym or just eat too much and decide to become a gravy seal. So,
A
both of
gravy
those are
seal.
different, like, root vegetable shapings of men, and
Yeah,
every single time I've ever seen somebody turn into a root vegetable shaped man, it's never turned out good for me.
yeah.
So,
I'm not
that's like
into root vegetable shaped men. Maybe
yeah.
like, is a carrot? I like them very tall and skinny.
I like carrots and I like ovals. I'm not sure what that means about me.
I'm not sure either, but yeah, I like them tall and skinny. I and angular. That's my thing.
Pointy, yes.
I like them pointy. Maybe because I'm so round.
I'm
It's a
like I'm like
balance.
pear-shaped, so,
I
like,
don't know what
anyway,
fruit or vegetable shape I am. I know I have big melons, but other than that, I don't know.
but,
I
like,
should podcast at this hour more often. I'm just like, what
look
else do you want to know?
like, welcome to Ossiana Talks to People, where talking to me is a literal trip every single time.
Right.
Um, so, like, another thing that I'd probably tell kids,
Yeah.
if they start noticing cars, like, slowing down at certain houses, warn a brother.
Yeah.
If they start seeing, the outline of what looks like a walkie-talkie, warn a brother. If a person's jacket looks like it's hiding something, warn a brother. Um, you can actually, like, modify baby monitors so that you can listen in on conversations via cell phone, as long as you, change the analog dial to the right frequency. Sometimes ICE people will actually drop that information in. They have recently leaked ICE names. You can actually look up people and be like, "Okay, is this person who they say they are? Is it just some random Southern guy who literally just got transplanted because of a job, or is it an agent?" Warner Brother. Be like
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny, Warner Brother.
I know.
Yep.
I
Linda Jean
I
says, "Warner Brothers sounds like Warner Brothers. That's why I call it being like Bugs Bunny." Yeah, what's up, Doc?
Oh, very clever. Look at you with the wordplay. I'm digging it. Yeah, it is a very complicated time for all of us,
It is.
for all the reasons, but when trying to launch children into the world,
It's just 10 times scarier.
it really is. It
Um,
just and we're not even getting into the whole, like, AI in the workforce, and are there even going to be jobs after you get your $300,000 degree? Like, what are we even going to be doing in 4 or 5 years as a people? Because all the jobs are going away. So I don't say they should get into the service trades because they won't. They're not going to be plumbers or electricians. That's just not like
so
that's not where their skills are. So like, what do you do, right? How do you like? I feel like up until the last few years that I had some wisdom in this area. Now my only wisdom is like, I do not know.
the only thing that we can do is adapt, 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 change
Yep.
our spending habits because you know what? A lot of factory jobs ain't going away. A lot of logistics jobs ain't going away. They're still going to need to like unload and upload stuff in warehouses. They're still going to need people to check out. They're still going to need security people. They're still going to need people to actually sell to people. Even if it's AI, people don't like AI. It doesn't have very good return on investment. And the thing is that you're going to start seeing in the very near future if my thoughts on economy is correct, and I usually am pretty bang on despite not having a degree. um you're going to see a large rise in micro businesses where they're like 1 to 5 people, and it's like family run businesses. It's not necessarily like a restaurant like they used to be or a newsstand. You're going to see a lot more content creators like you and me. You're going to start seeing a lot more people doing distributorships, partnerships. You're going to start seeing people doing like their own nano services, their own dark nets to get away from like the main internet. And that's where you're going to start seeing a lot more heavy community oriented people who are going to be able to make a living, but they're also not going to be allowing the billionaires to siphon off as much as they have been.
Interesting.
And
Def-
Violet says, seeing a 21-year-old protester was permanently blinded by ice broke me. I spent much of today crying.
hadn't heard about that. I just read that.
It's unfortunately that's the reality that we live in, and it's for some of us. Like, I spent a lot of my 20s, and early 30s living in fear for other reasons, very though not government backed. I really had legitimate reason to believe that somebody was trying to ice me. In fact, I mean, I don't need to say anything about my birthday, but anywho, like, I understand the fear. But
Yeah.
the weird thing about the fear, and I can say this from experience, is that when you get used to a certain level of chaos and a certain level of fear and risk, it becomes your new normal. You get
Yeah.
used to it. It's not something you want to get used to, and it actually makes you go a little bit bonkers when you do actually get time to, like, relax and unwind, and that's when, like, a lot of stuff might start hitting you, but at least you have enough time to decompress so that you can actually, like, freak out and hopefully get help and regroup and recompile.
Mm.
Right now, a lot of this is just all of us just treading water. Um, my woo-woo side has always said that the stars are showing that this is not going to last for much longer. It quite literally can't because it is not sustainable.
Right. But then what happens?
Um, Usually what always ends up happening,
What's that?
um, when a government becomes too unpopular, the government and the people in it go bye-bye. Happened in
Okay.
Nepal, happened with Nicolae Ceausescu, happened with Tsar Alexander II of Russia, happened with that French dude with the pretty wig. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a thing.
So you're counting on elections still happening and
No,
this regime just getting wiped out? Or are you counting on full on revolution, civil war?
It's very hard to tell because I honestly think a large portion of what we could do and what American citizens could do, if we don't give politicians the ability to get a moment's peace, you're going to start seeing them bend to their voters. If it gets to the point where
You're right.
where congressmen can't hide from their own votes, when Republicans actually start getting scared for their lives because they're not afraid of the left. They say that they are, but they're not. When it gets to that point where they're sitting there, they're like, okay, did this person who just served me the steak decide to use that steak as a toilet paper? I don't know. And by the way, if anybody wants to serve Republican steak and need me as a toilet paper facilitator, just ask. But wait, no, I should pay charge extra for that. Anyway,
Probably
yeah,
probably should. This is
Republicans are.
Josie. This is the cat I write about. That
Aw, you do
very,
booby.
ve-
Hi.
my very old diabetic cat who's destroying my home and is probably not long for this world. She's very cute and very skinny, and she peed on my green velvet sectional sofa, and I had to get rid of it. Happy
I
New Year.
understand that. I
Yeah.
have a I have a 23-year-old Dragon Lee. Um,
Uh,
it's part Chinese wildcat.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that. Did you say 23 years old?
Yes.
How many cats do you have?
Living with me right now, 5, and now that my husband's moving out, I'm hoping to get 6, 7, and 8. I want more
Wow,
cats.
that's a lot of cats.
Um,
Something is going on in the stars because um, at my age, you don't hear much about my large community of friends, like their marriage status changing. And yesterday, I had one of my in my close circle get engaged, and another announced that they were separating. And now you're telling me that you're separating or divorcing in both cases from spouses. So I'm like, wow, that's 3 in 2 days.
you
So
want to know the funny thing?
I always
In
want to
my
know the funny thing.
in my circle of friends, I found out that 2 people just got engaged.
So there's something going on.
Like,
Well,
it's funny because and V's like, "Are we all crazy cat ladies?" I myself am certified crazy. I've been in enough psych wards to tell you that. And yes, I am a cat lady. Take from that what you will.
right.
Let's
I
see. Saturn is going into Aries and Neptune is going into Aries. Yes, something is going on.
That
Thank
means a
you,
lot of
Karen.
fighting. What does that mean, Karen? Maybe we should bring
Um,
Karen on for the last few minutes so she can educate us about what's going on in these
honestly,
stars.
could we just get like a crone cocktail hour where like all of us older women talk about like where the stars
Oh
are, do tarot pulls?
my God, Crone Cocktail Hour, please launch that and I will be here.
Yo,
I will
House the boss,
bring the
I'll make it
bourbon.
happen.
Crone Cocktail Hour. I love that. Look at this face, though.
Oh my god, what a pretty baby.
Can you
Hi.
see how her eyes don't blink evenly?
Aw, I love you.
Oh,
You want to see one of my other cats?
yes.
All
This
right,
is,
I got 3 on the bed with me right now.
oh my God. Did they all get along?
All except for Fuzzy and Fluffy. Fuzzy is a little bit, even though he's 23, he is very brolic and he is very aggressive with other cats.
Okay.
And Fluffy was a street cat that got rescued, and
Oh,
she is also hyper aggressive. These 3 are giant mushes, so if we put them together, like it's going to be traumatic for them. We've attempted to do similar, but like as soon as I heard Fuzzy scream,
yeah.
well, it was just like, nope. Okay, sir. I just fed them all catnip. I got them separated again. I was like, nope, this is not happening.
Oh my God. That is a lot of cats. I have 2 cat. Oh gosh, look at that baby. I
Hmm.
have 2 cats and a dog, and 2 kids. It's a full house. I am outnumbered by a lot, but
I feel that. Oh,
uh,
look at my baby boy.
that is a good baby boy. I'm still on the Crone Cocktail Hour, and I love that so much.
No,
We need
like
We need
It's
to make this happen.
all right, absolutely. And one of the things I learned about parenting is that, you know, it's wild to see the change that happens when you're past 35 because all of a sudden, like, it's almost innate. The minute you turn 35 is the minute that so many older women out of the woodwork come in and they're just like, "I'm gonna be your mentor, I'm gonna be your cheerleader," and I freaking love it, and it's like a lot of people who did not have that kind of parental or maternal, click when they
Yeah.
were younger, like, you guys don't understand how much that helps you grow as a person and helps you make other people grow as people.
Interesting. I'm
And
trying to think if that happened for me. It was so long ago that I don't really remember. I've never had maybe this is like a Gen X phenom that we're coming after the generation down because I don't feel like I've had that many women older than me who seemed like role models, who I was like, "You're cool, and I can see the world that you've set up for yourself, and it feels like something I could do." I have not had that. So I'm glad that you have. And maybe that can be the point of Crone Cocktail Hour that we're here. We're like, honey, I can tell you a thing or two about love and life. And we all have
no,
to
like,
talk
that's a
like,
vibe.
what's that?
That's a vibe. We need this in our community because sometimes, like, a lot of us, we're dealing with parental estrangement. Like, we're dealing with people who have lost their parents to Trump. And
we, oh my God, we could give out advice. We could have people write with their problems and we could give out advice. Karen could layer in astrological advice. I really think we're onto something here
I love this. Absolutely. I've been sort of warning family. Um,
about us.
I I mean, most of the time when people warn people about me, it's because of something unhinged I did, and if I did upset you, I'm sorry. I'm not all there, like, I'm a few french fries short of a Happy Meal, but I do mean well. Um,
Oh my God.
we're oh, community is what is needed at this time, yes. And I think that that's gonna be, like, the number one thing that is going oh, Elsia, it's not about you. Oh, I'm always dying to talk Astro, yes. It's about no, Karen, I saw that Jessica B said, "Karen M, you and I should talk. Absolutely. I've been sort of warning family." And I was like, "Oh, I wasn't sure if it was warning or wanting." Oh, Jessica, I am in a school where they're all astrologers. Yes. But this needs to be a thing. And I definitely feel like some of us could be like the moms of people who, they've watched their once liberal, left leaning, considerate parents go off the deep end into QAnon, Trump.
Yeah.
Um,
My dad was always Republican and then Trumpy, but now he has dementia. I write about him a lot, and now he's much easier to deal with. He doesn't talk about politics anymore. And he's like, now I can just see this sad little boy. He was always like the scared, sad little boy. He was always protecting with all that anger and bravado. That's
yeah,
all that's left is like this wound. And there's sort of a beauty in his flavor of dementia and getting to know him and like see under the curtain of it.
man,
But
it's better than my late grandfather's form of dementia. He was just wandering around the neighborhood with a plastic bag on his head and like planting shrubberies in random locations.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I if I have to have dementia, it's funny how language usage change. You can no longer say be demented because
Oh
that
no, I
makes,
say that about myself.
sure, but it doesn't mean the same thing as have dementia.
Yeah,
Demented is more of a like, whoa. Um, but if I have to have dementia when I'm older, I want the happy kind, right? I want like a little taste of like, oh, I don't know what's up and I don't care because I'm so happy versus the paranoid, scared kind. Just give me the
yeah,
happy dementia if I have to have Alzheimer's. That's my request.
yeah,
Yes, some people get meaner. I don't wanna get meaner. I don't think I'm mean now unless people deserve it. Uh-oh. Can you hear Kira barking upstairs?
yeah.
She's, like,
So
way up, but You can still hear it, right? This mic is so
Yep.
sensitive. I probably need to go walk her because I think that's what that bark
Yeah.
means.
I need to crash because I have been running on 4 hours of sleep for the past 48.
Ah, yeah,
So
go get some sleep. I, uh,
I
I am going to sing karaoke with like, last girlfriend who still loves to sing karaoke. We're meeting at this place you would probably love, all of you, because everyone should love this place. It's a Chinese restaurant that in our neighborhood, and it also has karaoke, and the person who bartends also serves food and sometimes will sing, and so if their turn comes up and the order comes up, they'll be, like, serving you food and singing at the same time,
That's amazing.
which I love, and at the end of the night, all of the leftover hot and sour and egg drop soup they put in containers, and they are just like, "Take it home, it'll go bad." And so if you manage to make it till the end of the night, then you go home and you have, like, egg drop soup, and it's delicious.
How much are they charging for rent? I didn't know I need to live here.
Right? Oh, Seattle rents are crazy high, but I have a basement apartment right now that's available, so you know.
As of right now, I've got a lot more peace and quiet for myself, so I'm good. But anywho, this has been Oceana Talks to People with Dana DuBois
This has been so fun. I'm telling you, Crone Cocktail
on
Hour.
Cocktail Hour. We're
Lawrence
doing this.
can make us T-shirts that say Crone Cocktail Hour.
And I'm going to make like a cocktail book. I'm going to warn you that some of mine will put most people in the hospital, okay? So don't drink whatever I'm drinking if I decide to drink.
Thank you for the warning. Thank you to everyone. What a great big chat we've had today. What's my go-to song? Jessica B is asking. I don't really have just one song, but I do have, if I don't know a room, if I'm in a strange place and I'm testing a new mic and I'm nervous, I will sing Fat Bottom Girls by Queen.
Nice.
That one is usually a crowd pleaser, and it's just a belter. I'm not a great singer, but I can belt pretty well. So that
Sounds
is,
good.
I guess that's as close to a go-to as I have. You want the
All
Crone
right.
T-shirt. I'm telling you, we're doing this. We're doing
Okay, we're,
this.
we're we're doing this, and it's going to be part of the House
Um,
of Boss thing. Crone Cocktail Hour. Everyone who gets online gets a shirt.
what did you call it? The House of
House of Bast. It's HAVS of BAST, like the cat goddess, because
Oh,
I worship cats. I'm not sure if you could tell from all the Egyptian paraphernalia and
yeah. I kind of got
apparently a
that.
large number of cats I want to have. Actually, you know, I don't think I want 8 or 9. Maybe like 12 or 15 would be better, but
Oh my God. Would you like a couple of elderly cats in Seattle? I could send them out to you.
I mean, if you can get them here safely, like I mean, I was looking for diapering my one cat because I'm getting worried about him having accidents, but it's okay because I found some really cute diapers. Now I just have to do that without him skinning me alive. Anyway, I'll
You're
talk to you
very
later.
brave woman. Oh my gosh. Take care, everybody. Love you, leave it.
Bye.
Bye.